So let's talk about how guys should be treating girls in the sense that, so I am a very independent woman, and I think you are as well.
Yeah.
So there's an aspect of, we like to be strong and independent, and yet at the same time, there's still a part of us that loves a little bit of that chivalry. What does that look like? What is the balance?
Oh, it's chivalry. I can't say that word.
Chivalry?
Is it dead or still alive?
Well, we hope it's still alive.
Dead.
We hope
Yeah,
it's
it's
still
not.
alive.
No.
Because
on the guy.
I hear some guys say, well, I've never opened a door for her. She doesn't want that or whatever.
Well, there's a couple issues, right?
Yes.
Like, women, you should be gracious and you should want to empower men to lead.
Yes.
So, and that's, like, I think we just talked about how women can be manipulative, but also, like, you can encourage men to lead in ways that men cannot encourage each other. So, as a woman, like, using that, like, the fact that you are a woman, to accept leadership, and when a guy does do something kind, to not downplay that, but like applaud it and like tell him thank you, like, for doing that is a really big deal.
Right, because a guy opening the door, it does not imply that you do not have the strength or ability, the motor skills to open the
absolutely
door.
not.
Right.
But I mean, I think some girls would be like, well, I can do it myself, kind of thing, which is true, absolutely.
Yeah.
Most girls can actually physically open a door themselves.
Yeah.
But the act of opening a door, I mean, let's speak into that a little bit.
Me?
Yeah, Timmy,
Ooh.
come on. Since you opened my door, I said, oh, wait.
Yeah, no, this, all right, so I'll just be honest, like, real talk. I did not grow up in a house where that was happening. And I love Beth and Woody. I have great parents, but you tend to mimic what it is you're seeing at home. Like, that was a really hard thing for Rachel and I, even in college when we started dating, was like physical touch and like PDA in public. Like, I am not a PDA person. And when you kind of look at the stems, I'm just driving in the middle of the road, I can't get over. When you look at how I was kind of brought up, it makes sense, because the apples don't fall far from the tree. So I think if there's any dads listening, you need to be like showing this to your wife, like opening the door for them, like so we can be mimicking stuff there. Matt, I don't know if you want to speak into that at all.
Well, and I think from, like, as a guy, it's a sign of respect, right? So we're called to treat women as our sisters in Christ.
Yep.
And I almost hit a car.
Taxi driver. Like,
Got it.
that's like the one taxi driver in all of South Carolina just cut me off.
Just cut you off as you're trying to get over.
But it's ultimately a sign of respect. Like, if I'm opening the door for Brittany, whether like
He does.
Right. It's not because I think she's like a weak woman who is unable to open a door. It's like I want to honor her and respect her and do something that if I'm opening the door for another woman, it's a way of just showing honor and respect. And if I'm opening my door or opening a door for Brittany, it's honor, respect, and it's something I'm doing to show her. It's an act of service. It's not a it's not demeaning her in any way. It's an act of service.
Well, and Rachel was really good at telling me what made her feel loved, because I was just not naturally to do it, just because of whatever reasons. But she would be like when you did this and this, it made me feel respected, and I would go, oh, good, okay. Or, hey, Tim, when you say this or you do that, that makes me feel degraded. I know you're trying to actually do the opposite.
Right. Was this when you were dating or after you were married?
This was actually before we were dating, like before we kind of made it official. And so I just had to take those cues from her, what made her feel loved and respected and what didn't. And even as important as like, hey, because my personality is very, very outgoing. And I can always be told, like, high school and college, if I had $1 for every time I heard, like, Tim flirts with everyone, I would be a very, very rich man. And so, like, I had to just have Rachel, like, obviously we were talking about, like, that discernment, be like, hey, this and this and that. Like, I just had to really take, because I trusted her. But I think there's been relationships even before Rachel that it was coming from control, and it was coming from maybe a dark place where Rachel was just wanting to set me up for success.
Yeah.
And I think when you have other people speaking into it, you'll know which one is which.
So I'd love to do a little round robin here. So for guys, on a date, what should they do? Just real quick answers. Tim, what should they do on a date? One thing.
Get that girl home when Dad says,
Okay.
I want my daughter back at 10:30. You're back at 10:25.
Okay. Matthew?
I would echo that and pay for her, whatever she gets, pay for it.
Yeah. At the Taco Bell.
So, but I mean, plan for it. Like, like if she wants to order something expensive, like go to a restaurant that you can afford,
Right.
plan for
At the
it.
Taco Bell. Piece of cake. No, listen. If she doesn't love you at Taco Bell, she doesn't get Sobeys, right? You gotta love me at my Taco Bell. Then I'll know if you're worthy of crab cakes.
That may be just you two.
Yeah.
When Rachel was excited to go to Taco Bell, I was like, she's the one.
There you go. Hey.
Done.
I knew it.
That is too funny. Okay, one thing that a guy should do on a date, Brittany.
He should be a gentleman.
What does
We
that
were
look like?
talking
What
about
thing?
that. Opening the door, being respectful of your boundaries.
Okay. And I would say to take an interest in you and ask questions.
That's good.
I think that's huge. Okay, so one thing a guy should not do on a date. Go, Timmy.
Oh, mercy. I gotta think. You go, Matt.
Okay. Anything that would be crossing a boundary. So is this like first date? Like,
Yeah, let's say first couple dates. First couple dates. Don't touch her. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Don't. And if you want to, me and Matt are gonna come and beat
We're
you
gonna
up.
come get you.
Don't touch her. And even if she asks you to touch her, you don't touch her.
Then run away.
The name is no. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
We'll
can
come
we
back to
sing
that.
that?
We'll go back to that.
All right, good.
We'll come back to that.
You know what? I honestly, Corrine, I know this is gonna sound like I'm mooching off of you. It's don't make it about yourself. Like I think that's big, and I'm talking like I am someone who, if the conversation isn't flowing really, really smooth, I feel like I have to like fix that somehow. And so it's easy to talk about yourself. It's hard to ask good questions and hear from the other person. My wife still does this all the time. We will be going to a party or a wedding or this, and she will say, Tim, please don't make it about yourself. Because my personality is I can easily do that. Like if you say something, I feel like I'm relating with you. If I can go, oh, me too, and one time I had this or that. I have learned over time that you need to ask good questions and learn about them, and not, there is a time for you to talk about yourself, but you don't want to be like narcissistic.
So you would say,
That's a good one.
you'd say one thing not to do is don't make it about yourself.
Yeah, because it's easy to do that. Like if you don't have a lot to talk about, right? You don't want to have like an awkward date.
Right. No.
So the
right.
best person you know is yourself.
Right.
And so I've just learned in any area of life, asking good questions, you can't go wrong there. Even this one. Tell me more.
That's right. Brittany, what's one thing to not do that the guy should not do on the first couple dates?
He should.
Or avoid. Maybe I should use the word avoid.
Yeah, I think it depends on the level of relationship you're at, but
Let's say high school. So this is you're getting to know somebody.
yeah. Well, he should know that you're not committed to him. Like you're just getting to know each other. So, like it's not. If it's just your first couple of dates.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. I think you guys have pretty much covered that. Okay, for a girl, what should a girl do on the first date? Go.
Oh gosh. Go, Brittany.
Or not our first couple dates. We'll say the first couple dates. Getting to know
What
somebody.
should she do?
Yeah. Like what are some things? Like we said, the guy should pay for the girl. We said the guy should open doors and be respectful and that kind of thing. Have the girl home on time, that kind of thing. What should a girl do? We need girls to have responsibility in
Be
this
thankful and express your thankfulness. If a guy
That's good.
opens the door for you, pays for your meal, whatever, like after the date, follow up, say thank you. Like it doesn't matter if you like them or not. You could not hate hate them. Hopefully.
It could be the most awkward date
but it
ever.
could be super awkward. You could be like, that's a no, but you should still think that.
Because
like,
he got the courage to ask you out at least, you know, and that's being respectful to another human being. Yeah. I would also say to take an interest in that person, even if it is awkward, because there's something you can always learn from somebody.
Right.
You can always be learning. I read somewhere that somebody said, everyone is an expert in something.
Yeah.
So figure out what that is, because that person, no matter how odd they might be or weird or the circumstances, whatever, there's something interesting about them. They know something. They know a lot about one thing. Figure out what that is. So, Timmy, what would you say?
I got mine.
Good.
And I might need y'all help me articulate this, but like I used to hear girls say they were going to go on a date just to get like a meal for free, but they knew there was like nothing there. Like don't lead them on.
No.
Right? Is that good?
100%.
Yeah, okay.
Right. You should be very honest.
Mm-hmm.
Honesty is always the best policy.
Yes.
I don't know, but then I feel like, well, hold on, maybe you should give him a chance. Like I'm like doubting myself.
Well, you can give him a chance if you actually think there's a chance.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you already know it's a no, why would you take advantage?
It's like I want free Taco Bell. That's why I said yes to him.
Change your mindset, because we can do this. You can choose to change your mindset and say, I'll give you a shot. But if you know after the first date, like this is not going anywhere, to just say, thank you so much for this. This was a lot of fun.
You're a great guy, but we're not
I think
good together.
I think we're really great.
And
as
don't
friends.
do it via text or Instagram DM.
Yes.
Like say it to their face.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Okay, but Matthew, did you give one that a girl should do?
Should do.
Yes.
Should do.
On a date.
Oh, I think I went with shouldn't. Whoops.
That's right.
Sorry.
Should do. I would echo the ask good questions.
Okay, they should ask good questions.
But ask good questions.
Okay.
It really is important to ask good questions, especially in the first few dates, because the more good questions you ask, the faster you'll know
Right.
if there's going to be a second or third.
Okay, so what a girl should not do. So Tim, you said not take advantage of the guy. Okay.
You already got yours. Too.
Yeah, you got yours.
Yes.
Check. Done. All right.
Should not do.
Yes.
Oh shoot, I've never thought about this question.
Yeah, it's like a.
It's like
Okay, I got
flipping-
one.
Okay,
I got
I'll
one.
think
Brittany,
about it.
go.
There you
Dress provocatively.
Oh yeah, don't do that.
Oh,
Yeah,
very
but-
good.
Modest is hottest.
Is it though? No.
It is.
It rhymes, so it has to be true.
Here's the thing. You want a guy to be interested in you for the right reasons,
Right.
and
Correct.
it is so important.
Yes. Correct.
Absolutely important. So
Awesome. Love it. Matthew, what would you say?
Girls should not. I would say the girl should not make it harder for the guy to do what her parents have asked him to do. If that makes sense.
Explain.
So, your parents asked him to have you home at 10 o'clock. Make sure that you're not
Set him up for success.
set him up for success. Set the guy you're out on a date with up for success.
Hey, I have a funny story about
Okay.
when I went to prom. She still lives. She still lives here in Greenville. Her maiden name was Joanne Lott. Now she's Joanne Lehman, married Matt Lehman. Her dad owns Canopy Car Wash on Wade Hampton. Shout out to Gus Lott. And when I took Joanne to prom junior year, he made me sign a bullet. I literally signed a bullet, and he said, if you do anything I don't like, this bullet has your name on it.
Yep.
And
okay.
There you go.
ever since then, he's given me free car washes. Because I think he felt so bad, and I was so afraid. But I do remember, and you made me think of this, Matt. Like she had to be home at a certain time, and I was like trying to get her out of the Scuffletown dancing barn because that's where we went. Shout out to Scuffletown.
Scuffletown, is it still around?
No, it burned.
No.
It burned out. And I was like, Joanne, please,
We have to
find
go.
your
shoes,
heels because you couldn't dance in them. I was like, your dad's gonna murder me, please.
He has a bullet with my name on it.
Yeah, that's James Blickenstaff.
Oh. Hi, James.
Yeah. So anyways, I echo that because I was like sweating bullets, no pun intended, and I was very scared, and Joanne was not helpful. Joanne, you were not helpful. And then on our way home, I got in a fender bender.
I
was in my mom's Ford Escape,
Oh.
and it was very embarrassing.
I
you go.
would say that girls don't be somewhere else in your mind. Like
Oh, yeah.
be present.
Be in.
Be right there, because I mean
And get off your phones.
Right.
Oh,
yeah.
100%. If you're on a date, you should not be on your phone.
Yeah, because the guy got the courage to ask you out, whether you want to be there or like.
Can
whether,
girls ask out guys?
Oh, that's a big question. Oh, well, let's weigh in on that.
So I would say you probably want a guy to be pursuing you, but I think if the relationship is confusing and he's been flirting with you, maybe a little bit confusing and manipulative, it's totally appropriate to ask him what's going on. So, and where he's at.
Okay.
And his mindset with all
Get
of
some
that.
clarity.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think that's totally fine.
Okay.
But
What would you say, Matthew?
I would say, I think if you're a guy and you're interested in a girl, you should be asking. If you're a girl and you're interested in a guy, I don't think there's anything wrong with creating opportunities for him to show that he's interested. But I think it's I don't think it's a problem for the girl to ask a guy. But I think in an ideal scenario,
But you wouldn't want her to ask you out, though, right?
Yeah.
But what if it's just his friends? Like, hey, you want to hang out?
No, that's
Well,
Yeah.
that's different.
Yeah.
That's different.
That's
Okay,
different.
okay.
Than they
Okay,
going
good.
out,
Well,
like,
for those listening, like maybe they can. I don't know. It was weird. I went to a little private school, Southside Christian, and I felt like girls were always asking out guys.
interesting.
I also feel like
Yeah.
that was like however many years ago. So
Wow.
Wow, she just totally burned you.
I was born in 1985. Thank you so much.
I just
Like back in like what 1940s?
Do you need
when-
your cane?
I know.
I just feel like people
How about
take
your
relationships
dentures?
a lot more. I don't know. It's not like you just date around.
Right.
It's not defined the same way. I think you should talk to people more
Right.
because you're gonna have more